Good afternoon, everyone. I am Jeff Braun. I am senior pastor of Winnetka Congregational Church in Winnetka, Illinois, and it's been my pleasure to go on multi-faith, somewhat unprecedented, at least in terms of my experience, multi-faith service trips with members of this faith community, Congregation Hakafah, and my church that I represent, Winnetka Congregational, both to Houston to rebuild after Harvey and as well to the Texas-Mexico border in order to witness to the injustice there near Matamoros, Mexico, and of course on the American side as well, in what purported to be courts that were processing people in due ways, but which was not the case. Thank you for the humbling invitation, especially to Dilnaz and to your imam, to add my voice for whatever it is worth to the ethical and the emotional power of those who have already offered testimony. May God's peace be upon each of you, upon the Muslim Community Center of Morton Grove, upon your imam, and in all your prodigious work to build up our broader human communion. Upon Muslims the world over and upon all God's children together, as imperfectly we muddle toward a more true embodiment of the divine truth that we are all equal, all equally esteemed in the eyes of our great Creator. And that certainly is a golden thread that is woven through all the religions of the world, however well or not we do embody it. Dilnaz invited me to take a slightly different path or angle on today's vigil, during today's vigil, one that hopefully though complements what has been said already. I am not an expert in Middle Eastern affairs. I am not in command of all the defining details and the critically important nuances of the long-standing struggle for Palestinians to have their call for justice and their hope for a homeland both affirmed and peaceably fulfilled. I do not possess the long-awaited solution to the eternizing struggle that has so painfully embroiled both Palestinians, Muslim, Jews, and Israelis as well as Christians. I only wish that I did. I cannot speak for all Christians. I can only speak as best I can from my own heart, and with even greater humility for what I sense to be the heart of the congregation, which I have been humbly called to serve in Christ's name. And even as I speak with a brotherly love and concern for you and for all my Muslim sisters, brothers, and friends the world over, I will confess equally this love and concern, though distinct unto itself, is inseparably woven with my love and concern for my Jewish sisters, brothers, and friends the world over, whose pain and struggle I also feel. So that is what I cannot say and what I cannot do. Wish that I could. But what I can say, and only with profound humility, is this. Wherever there is conflict, for any peace to be brokered, let alone for any true and lasting healing to begin, one must feel that one has been given the forum to air one's pain, one's sense of injustice, and further that honest expression of pain has been both heard and held as sacred, which is of course what today is in part about. To hear the pain and the longings of an other does not require that we set aside our own pain, our own cries for justice. That would be both impossible and utterly unproductive. What it does require, in both an utterly counterintuitive and divinely humanizing way, is that we draw upon our own pain as an empathic tool rather than as a rending weapon, which humanity has shown a rare ability to pick up. And finally, with God's help, even our most intractable struggles can be peaceably resolved. And relatedly, that our best means to ensure that we are, each of us and all of us across religious lines and within our religious traditions, the best means to ensure we're working as God's agents is to pray without ceasing. For the Holy One to equip us to overcome our lesser inclinations, our all too tangled histories, our broken hearts, our broken bodies, and the nearly irresistible temptation to allow our anger to overcome our capacity to live and let live as God would have us do. And so in closing, I am here to say, I hear the pain that has been expressed with such searing eloquence and personal power today. I am sorry for that pain and that injustice, and how it stabs in the hearts of people the world over. Both as a Christian and as a child of God, that pain is not only yours, though I honor it as such, it is mine too, and that needs be said and felt. And I am praying unceasingly as I can, both on my own, with my congregation, with all of you, and with those of all the world's great religions, for God to bless us, for God to forgive us when we transgress, and for God to both heal and guide us. May God the Most Holy bless my words and correct any shortcoming in them. They are not God's, they are mine and mine alone. And may God's peace be upon you. Salam and shalom.